NATO is a team of countries that promise to protect each other. The name stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If one member is attacked, the others will help. This is NATO's core idea. NATO began in 1949 after World War II, when Europe and North America wanted to prevent another devastating conflict. They signed the North Atlantic Treaty, a powerful agreement to stand together. The founding members included the United States, Canada, the UK, France, and others in Western Europe. They built a bridge of security across the Atlantic. Today, NATO has over 30 members. The world has changed, but NATO's main idea, teamwork and safety, remains. Members work together on military plans, share information, and practice for crises. NATO is a major player in global security. Understanding NATO helps us understand how countries cooperate for peace. It's a story of nations near the North Atlantic linking their destinies. NATO's history is about learning from the past to build a safer future. In this video, we'll explain what NATO is, why it was created, and what it does. We'll look at its goals, how it makes decisions, and real examples of its work. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of this important alliance. You'll see why NATO is still a subject of discussion today. Let's dive in. To understand NATO's creation, let's go back to 1945. World War II had just ended, leaving Europe devastated. Millions had died, and countries were determined to prevent another disaster. The world was divided, Western democracies on one side, the Soviet Union on the other. The Soviet Union controlled much of Eastern Europe, creating the Iron Curtain. Western nations felt threatened by the Soviet Union's power and expansion. Still weak from the war, they knew they couldn't stand alone. They needed a strong ally, the United States. The US, with its powerful military, became the backbone of Western security. Fear of Soviet aggression was the main reason for NATO's creation. In 1949, leaders met in Washington, D.C. to form a defensive alliance. The goal wasn't to start a war but to prevent one. The message to the Soviet Union: attack one, face all. This is called collective defense. By joining forces, Europe and North America created a shield, NATO. This alliance was designed to protect its members and keep the peace. It was a powerful warning to any aggressor. NATO's birth marked a new era of cooperation. It showed that unity could deter threats and maintain stability. The alliance became a cornerstone of Western security. NATO's creation changed the balance of power in Europe. It set the stage for decades of peace and partnership. That's why NATO was born. At NATO's heart is a powerful promise. Article 5. It says an attack on one member is an attack on all. This is the alliance's core principle: collective defense. No member faces threats alone. The group stands together. Imagine friends who always back each other up. NATO works the same way but with countries. This promise gives security, especially to smaller nations. Alone, a small country might be vulnerable, but with NATO, it's protected by the group's combined strength. The commitment isn't automatic. Members consult and decide how to respond. Support can mean troops, economic aid, or diplomatic pressure. The key is action. NATO's promise is real. Article 5 has only been used once, after the 9/11 attacks in the US. All members agreed it was an attack on them all and offered support. This bond is built on shared values: democracy, liberty, and the rule of law. NATO isn't just about military power, it's about protecting a way of life. The alliance is united by more than just treaties, it's a shared identity. Article 5 is more than words, it's a genuine commitment. That's what makes NATO strong and enduring. The alliance stands as a shield for its members. That's the core of NATO. NATO's main purpose is to guarantee its members' freedom and security. It does this through political and military means, aiming to prevent wars, not start them. NATO is a defensive alliance acting as a powerful deterrent. Its combined strength warns potential aggressors. Attacking isn't worth the risk. Politically, NATO promotes democracy and encourages peaceful problem-solving. Leaders and diplomats meet regularly to build trust and avoid misunderstandings. NATO also partners with organizations like the UN and EU to promote stability beyond its borders. Militarily, members keep their own forces but train together for readiness. Joint exercises ensure they can work together in a crisis. This readiness makes NATO's defense promise credible. NATO also manages crises, stepping in to keep conflicts from escalating. It can send peacekeepers or help enforce ceasefires. The goal is always to restore peace and create lasting solutions. By managing crises, NATO prevents small conflicts from becoming bigger wars. Its work keeps the peace in a changing world. That's how NATO protects its members and promotes stability. NATO is an alliance of independent countries. Each member keeps its own government but chooses to work together for security. To join, a country must be a democracy, treat its people fairly, and have a market economy. All current members must agree to invite a new one. Unanimity is required. New members must meet NATO's standards before joining. Once in, they get the Article 5 security guarantee and a seat at the decision table. NATO's headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium, where ambassadors meet daily. Each country contributes troops, equipment, and money based on its economy. The US, with the largest economy, pays the most. Sharing costs and responsibilities is key to NATO's teamwork. That's how the alliance functions as a united team. NATO makes decisions by consensus. Everyone must agree. There's no voting, even one no stops a decision. This ensures every country, big or small, has an equal voice. The main decision-making body is the North Atlantic Council, led by the Secretary General. Ambassadors meet often, discuss issues, and consult their governments. Negotiation and compromise are essential to reach agreement. Consensus applies to everything, from statements to military action. Before sending troops, all members must agree. This process makes NATO's actions careful and united. It prevents the alliance from being dragged into conflicts by a few. Consensus is NATO's greatest political strength. It keeps the alliance united and deliberate. For decades, NATO deterred the Soviet Union without fighting. After the Cold War ended, new challenges arose. In the 1990s, war broke out in the Balkans, especially in Bosnia and Kosovo. Diplomacy failed, so NATO acted for the first time. In 1995, NATO launched airstrikes in Bosnia to stop violence and force peace talks. The intervention led to the Dayton Peace Accords and peacekeeping troops. Later, in Kosovo, NATO intervened again to stop violence against civilians. Airstrikes forced Serbian forces to withdraw, ending the crisis. NATO sent peacekeepers to maintain security. KFOR is still there today. These missions showed NATO could adapt to new roles. It became a crisis manager, not just a Cold War alliance. NATO's actions in the Balkans saved lives and restored peace. The alliance proved it could protect people beyond its borders. NATO isn't just about military power, it helps in disasters too. When catastrophe strikes, NATO coordinates aid from its members. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, NATO airlifted emergency supplies to the US. It also helped Pakistan after a devastating earthquake, sending supplies and medical teams. These missions show NATO's human side, saving lives and reducing suffering. NATO's logistics and planning skills help deliver aid quickly. Humanitarian work builds goodwill and strengthens partnerships worldwide. NATO's ability to help in crises proves its value beyond defense. The alliance uses its resources for hope as well as security. Helping in disasters is part of NATO's mission. It shows the alliance's commitment to people, not just borders. The world has changed since 1949, but NATO's purpose remains. New threats, terrorism, cyber attacks, and weapons proliferation have emerged. NATO adapts to face these challenges. Russia's recent actions, especially in Ukraine, remind Europe why collective defense matters. For countries near Russia, NATO is their security guarantee. The alliance has increased its presence in Eastern Europe to deter aggression. NATO also faces new questions from China's rise and global cyber threats. A cyber attack could trigger Article 5, showing how security has evolved. NATO works on energy security, climate change, and protecting trade routes. Security now means more than just military defense. NATO remains a cornerstone for its members. It has proven it can change with the times. From deterring the Soviets to peacekeeping and disaster relief, NATO adapts. The alliance symbolizes the enduring bond between Europe and North America. In a complex world, NATO's promise of protection is still powerful.